Welcome, Angry Faithful. Yes, today's Friday. Political stuff that we found on the weekday and some interesting stuff that we found on the weekdays. Uh, yeah. If you notice that we might not have had a Wednesday, we did. We just did it on X. Well, because we wanted to have fun that day. Anyways, everyone, welcome to Friday night. Anyways, Bill, as the namesake, China is in the cloud. Do you know anything from that, Bill?
China's in the cloud.
Yeah, we'll get into that right now. This is what Pete Hegseth said from via Fox News.
This month, the Department of Defense was made aware of an Obama-Biden era legacy program called Digital Escorts. For nearly a decade, Microsoft has used Chinese coders, remotely supervised by U.S. contractors, to support sensitive DoD cloud systems. The program was designed to comply with contracting rules, but it exposed the department to unacceptable risk. I mean, if you're thinking America first and common sense, this doesn't pass either of those tests. So I initiated an immediate review of this vulnerability, and I want to report our initial findings. So the use of Chinese nationals to service Department of Defense cloud environments, it's over. We've issued a formal letter of concern to Microsoft documenting this breach of trust, and we're requiring a third-party audit of Microsoft's digital escort program, including the code and the submissions by Chinese nationals. This audit will be free of charge for U.S. taxpayers. I'm also tasking the Department of Defense experts with a separate investigation of the digital escort program and the Chinese Microsoft employees that were involved in it. These investigations will help us determine the impact of this digital escort workaround. Did they put anything in the code that we didn't know about? We're going to find out. Additionally, all Department of Defense software vendors will identify and terminate any Chinese involvement in DoD systems. It blows my mind that I'm even saying these things. It's such common sense that we ever allowed it to happen. That's why we're attacking it so hard. We expect vendors doing business with the Department of Defense to put U.S. national security ahead of profit maximization. I'm committed, like the president is, to ensuring that our national security networks are secure. Again, it's America first, and it's common sense. This never should have happened in the first place, but once we found out about it, we've attacked it aggressively from the beginning, and we're going to follow all the way through the tape to make sure that this is addressed. So DoD is working in conjunction as well with our partners in the rest of the federal government to ensure that all U.S. networks are protected.
Yeah, so that happened. How ignorant were they? Honestly, that's the most idiotic stuff that I've ever heard. I mean, I understand they use their, I don't want to say vast intellect because there was no intellect in that, but it's after seeing a lot of stuff through the Obama administration, like Operation Fast and Furious. And if you know what that is, you know we had U.S. citizens sell guns to the cartel. I'm striving to try to figure out what good the Obama administration did at this point. Because every time something horrible comes through anything that we see or do, I have to deep dive that one of these days to find out anything good that the Obama administration did, because what that was ridiculous.
Make race baiting great again?
Yeah, but they're not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, that's what Obama did.
Yeah, I know, but they're not allowed to do that anymore.
You know, the digital escort program, I actually know zilch about it, but I see that the first article that came up about it was July 15th that the Pentagon was notified or an article came out about it. I mean, when you say digital escort, I thought it was like a AI sex thing, but anyway.
Yeah, I went with you too. The first thing I heard that, I was like, digital escort.
Yeah, cool. Elon have that?
Where can I look at? Oh, it was
The Tesla model.
but yeah, that on some of the stuff that I've been finding out through going doing research nowadays by myself, one for the podcast, two for my basic curiosity. Man, I got something in my eye and it is bothering the hell out of me. I'm sorry, folks.
Wasn't from that digital escort, was it?
Oh God, I hope not.
The realism of the digital. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just getting ridiculous out there with all the stuff that we're coming to find out. Another main thing that we should be looking at, and thoughts and prayers for the people in Missouri after the shooting. Hopefully there's some good charity groups out there that are not just trying to steal your money. They're actually doing some stuff for the families, because we already went over it on Wednesday on X, because that's the reason why we went on X solely that day, is because we got a lot of heavy on it. And just thoughts and prayers for those family. Another person that got named in the manifesto was Brendan Herrera. And if you don't know, he's a great guy. I've met him a couple of times, and every time it was just like a guy that's just wanting to help other people out, have fun, and enjoy life. Right now, he's trying to get into Congress for Texas. And let me see here. He's trying to go for the 23rd district of Texas for the Republican Party. Yeah, donate to him if you can to help him get. Oh, that was on me. Let me cancel that out. Sorry, folks, on that one. But here's his website. It's Brendan Herrera for Congress. We'll go ahead and show that real quick. If you can view it on YouTube, it's at BrendanHerreraForCongress.com. If you can't afford like the 35 to 100 or all that, just go to other and put in like $5. You know, help them get in Congress. Just $5, you know. But anyways, on to the next topic. Bill is fuming all day today on his Facebooks over the tariffs, because what had happened, and this happened today around 4 p.m. When was this news at from CNBC? Most of Trump's tariffs ruled illegal by appeals court, dealing major blows to trade policies. Now, after saying that, Bill asked, it's like, what makes it legal? And because Bill doesn't like to do due diligence at times,
I just had a brain fart on the exact statute on that.
Whatever, Bill. But stating that the president can set tariffs because Congress has delegated these powers to the executive branch through various laws, such as the Trade Act of 1974 and Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act. and International Emergency Economic Powers Act. These laws allow the president to impose tariffs under specific circumstances, such as an important surge threatened to a domestic industry, when the national security is at risk, or as to respond to an unusual and extraordinary economic threat. Congress delegation for over 80 years, Congress has granted the power to the president for the authority to set and adjust tariffs. Trade Act laws like from 1974 provide mechanisms for the president to protect U.S. industries and workers, including imposing tariffs under certain conditions. The National Security Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act allows the presidents to impose tariffs if imports are deemed to be threatened to national security. And the Emergency Powers and International Emergency Economic Powers Act grants the president broad authority to act in case of declared national emergency, which can include imposing tariffs. Now, saying that, why do we need these tariffs? Because for the longest time, this is including when Trump said this in the 80s. Bill, was that in the 80s?
In the 80s? I believe in the 80s. It was all through the mid 2000s that I started looking at actual trade deals and going, we're getting screwed. We need someone who can deal with this. And we finally got someone to deal with it. Now, he's using the national securities for all of the trade deals. How is he doing that? All of these deals, if you look at them, and I know there's several I looked at, and I'll bet they all have some kind of national security component wrapped in them. They either have a national security component or an anti-drug that's the fentanyl, as people on YouTube, due to their censorship, call it, because you can't say the word. But it either has one of those things in it, or possibly some other factors. Like, look at what he just did. I had something I mentioned last week about Canadian shipbuilding, and what did he do? It's big South Korea deal this week. There was a lot in the South Korea deal, a lot for us. What was one of the big focuses? The South Koreans actually used our MAGA phrase, and they created one in the world of acronyms. Make America Shipbuilding Great Again. So they've rolled together $150 billion worth of investment in America. And that's through them, and deals with other companies that are shipbuilding companies. Yeah, I don't have the list of it here. There's like 5 or 6 at least. And they're all going to be investing in America, and all going to be building in shipyards, several of them around the country. Some of them that had been kind of slowed down weren't doing anything. I think they may be opening up stuff that's been shuttered, but that stimulates the shipbuilding. Now, why? National security. There's a lot of Navy training vessels, other Navy ships. And then the other national security interest is energy. So think about all of these trade deals that have to do with energy, and other countries taking energy that could shut it off to us. That's a national security interest. So I'm thinking very, very much the Supreme Court can pull their head out of their ass and stop this appellate court garbage.
Yeah, because how much money? Let's just go out and find out how much money. Because from what you said before we came on the air, what's the amount that we'd have to give back if we have to give that back? The tariffs.
Everything we've collected. Oh, LNG ships. I didn't mention that.
What do you mean the LFG ships?
Oh, I was mentioning the shipbuilding, the Navy ships, and this ship and that ship. And then I went into energy. is one of the things that allows him to do this. And one of the types of ships that the shipbuilders in the South Korean deal have mentioned building are LNG transport ships. We need to get LNG to Europe, and we need to replace Russians' fuel.
Well, so far, we would have to return $108 billion.
Right. That's a big hit to the American taxpayer.
Yeah. But
Basically, his whole administration would crumble. No one is going to, why would any country right now till October, 14th? Why would they even begin to make trade negotiations with Trump now? So his whole administration right now, his whole plan, everything he's working on, all the trade deals that the meetings he had over the next few weeks already planned to meet with different world leaders over the trade deals. Why? They're all done. They're all frozen. Any of the trade deals that he already made, getting us our industry moving over here, companies moving over because of the tariffs, done. America falls to shit.
But these judges knows what they're doing.
No, these judges are bought off George Soros bastards who hate America anyway.
Oh, which reminds me, do you think
Was I supposed to not say the B word yet?
Actually 7 seconds from beginning. You can say it now. Just don't overuse it. Anyways, what do you think of the DOJ doing a RICO case against George Soros?
A RICO case. Yeah, he needs to be stopped. Now, I've mentioned George Soros and immigration. Our immigration is because of an overall plan that George Soros and the World Economic Forum has done, because there's immigration issues all around the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they're starting to fight it. And I'll show you.
Especially Joan of Scotland.
Huh?
Joan of Scotland.
Is he one of the Jonas Brothers?
No, Bill, if you keep up with news like you say you do, Joan of Scotland was a little 14-year-old girl that brandished an axe in a kitchen knife.
Okay. Yeah. That little girl. But there's a lot more immigration issues going on right now. But here's Soros, and here's when some of this was exposed.
How Mr. George Soros published his plan in English in a Project Syndicate publication. It was done 2015, September 26th. And he published a plan. He said that I'm quoting, here are the 6 components of my comprehensive plan. Just quote 2 or 3 points of that. First is, he said very clearly, 2015, that, quoting again, EU has to accept at least 1 million asylum seekers annually. That was the first point. Second, he said, adequate financing is critical. And he proposed to issue long-term euro bonds for financing the migration crisis and the migrants' social and welfare taking care when they arrive to the European Union. And another point which is very important for Hungary, which is involving the territory of Hungary directly into this program, he said that, quoting them, safe channels must be established for asylum seekers, starting with getting them from Greece and Italy to their destination countries, which means to bring them to Greece, to Hungary, and then have them to go to Austria. So don't forget that what we are speaking about is not an accidental stories, not a bulk of 10 years of accidental stories. It's a plan which is going on. It was written, it was published, it's known. So we are fighting again an organized gang called Empire of George Soros, and NGOs, who are just supporting everybody who is transgressing our legal system and our regulation. and financing illegal activity against our nation. So this is why the story is not just about migration, but it's about how this European Union is working and how George Soros was able to captive the main positions inside many institutions of European Union, buying out MPs and other leaders, and in order to execute the plan which is written, and it's against all the Christian and nation-based political forces. It's against us. It's about how to change Europe and how to eliminate and push aside all the Christian, conservative, national-based political leaders and voters from the European Union decision-making bodies. So this is
Yeah.
So you get he's okay. Our problem, one of our problems is where we were paying for illegals for hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the UK is doing that too. Canada is doing that. They can't afford it. Their illegals get so many benefits. Their unemployment is so high. Their youth unemployments. And here's one for the housing. They're all trying to figure out housing. Canada's housing is through the roof. No one can afford a house. So in Australia last week, they're looking at someone is floating the idea. One of their liberal groups is floating the idea of taxing your home for unused bedrooms.
Really?
If you have more bedrooms, and it's like what you only get what you need, and you're going to rent it, and you're going to be happy and not own anything. If you have you really don't need that size of house. You don't need that many bedrooms. So they're looking at being able to go in and tax people for unused bedrooms. If they bought too big a house, if they own a house that they say the government says is, oh, that's too big for you. You don't need that. So they're going to tax the unused bedrooms to try to entice people into smaller homes to allow more available rooms to take care of their housing shortage.
Well, there was actually a thing I saw today, and I forgot to save it. I was going a mile a minute. But there is a guy in England who he has a hotel, and the government was offering him $35,000 a month for at least 10 years to house immigrants in those illegal immigrants. We'll just call them illegal immigrants. We can say that here. We have somewhat free speech. We have half. One is X and the other one's YouTube. But anyways, he denied it. He didn't want to do it. And the reason why he didn't want to do it is because he wanted, patrons. He wanted actual people that are just, holiday. It's a little bit more safer for him from what he said, because it was with travelers, they're coming and going. With that, they're basically living there, and they can do basically whatever they wanted to if they're living there. So, yeah, it's getting kind of scary there in the EU area. That includes UK, unless you're in Poland. Poland does not play any kind of games with anybody trying to get in there illegally. They will end you. They will give you unhealth care.
Poland and Hungary. That was Viktor Orban from Hungary. And if you, Poland also. Poland is the one that just elected the new leader that said Trump is not a man. He's a symbol of freedom for the world.
Yeah.
He said that in his rally. I played this a couple of months ago. He actually said it in his rally a couple of weeks before he was elected. But that's what they do. That's what they look for. They look at Trump. The illegal immigration they were trying to fight it and not getting a foothold anywhere. But they said they knew they needed a symbol. So they can look at America now and go, look, it can be done. Not like our auto pen leaders in the last administration who said, "Oh, we've got to pass something. We can't stop any of this." Well, their political leaders were telling the people the same thing. "Oh, we can't really stop this." And now they're going, look at America and Trump, and they're doing protests all over. There's a big immigration protest. God, I can't remember what it's called. There's someone I follow on X closely. There's a big one at the end of the month in Australia.
Okay.
They just had one in the UK. Well, the other thing about the illegal immigration is that especially the UK, they're allowing flags of Palestinians, but making them take down the UK flags.
Huh. Well,
It's totally nuts.
well, here's the thing with the whole George Soros thing. And well, I keep on telling people, it's like, look at the history of what he did. How did he get his billions, Bill? Was it smart investments on stuff?
Well, I don't remember what his initial is. But his goal has always been toppling currencies of countries for control.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly.
that's why he's a war criminal in several countries. He's actually a listed war criminal.
Yeah, that's because he literally did that for the UK. He did it in the 70s. That's how he made his billions. And no one's looking at that. Everybody's looking at the fact there's like, oh no, he's trying to do good. No. Well, he's giving out bonds to help out these people. Yes. And guess what he can do in a certain level with those bonds? Cancel those bonds. And what happens when they don't have that money? It's going to devastate whatever country he issued those bonds for. And since he does that, guess what? He gets a little bit of extra money, and he toppled over a country and he shorted the country. Nobody looks at that. And it's just baffling. I understand that people don't like to research a whole lot, especially nowadays when you're like shot into a lot of information. But the people that are advocating for that type of stuff need to look at that first. Anyways, Bills, what's next on the topic, buddy? Bill?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I may have found it. I'll have to read it later. It's something over 15 years ago that I read. And George Soros wrote an article. This is by George Soros in The Atlantic. And I may have found it January 1998 issue. And if that's the issue, if that's the article that I'm thinking of, he goes through and says, okay, my plan was to take over the monetary system of this country by doing this, this, and this. Well, it failed and it destroyed this system in that country. So I moved on to the next country and I did this, this, and this. It's all laid out in an article in The Atlantic written by him. None of this is hidden. It's just no one either finds it, knows where to look, or cares, or they think, oh, George Soros, it's just another conspiracy theory. No, look, see what I'm pointing? No, you can't see what I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying what is next?
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the way the mayor of Chicago
dodge and weave? Take a look.
I'm curious, would you also like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago? Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand
What
that. You've talked about the other things you want. Would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked.
I don't believe that we should narrow it down to just police officers, Joe, is what I'm
not.
saying. That is an antiquated approach. I'm saying we've invested in detectives.
Mr. Mayor, are you hearing what I'm saying? Would an additional 5,000 cops on the streets in Chicago help complement those programs to make Chicago safer?
Look, we are working hard to make sure that our police department is fully supported.
Of course, we know the answer, but
Well, Hannity tried. He tried to give him the opportunity. Oops. Okay, hold on. Lost the mouse. He tried to give him the opportunity to come back and say, yeah, if the Trump administration gave us the money for, and they're talking he wasn't talking about bringing in the National Guard or anything. He was saying, Scarborough was asking, if the Trump administration gave you the money for 5,000 police, would you take it? No. Well, we think it's affordable housing. Really? You think all the game? I have a website, and for years I had one of the guys, and he's a minority reporter up in the Northeast. For years, every Monday he would post a scorecard, a scorecard with the amount of shootings and the amount of deaths. Every Monday, the amount of shootings and deaths that happened in Chicago over the weekend.
Really?
He would post the scorecard. Yeah. Have you ever looked at the amount of shootings and deaths?
It's
Oh my gosh, you
that's
haven't?
why I've seen the map for each weekend.
Yeah, he actually posted the score, the weekend count. So these guys are nuts. These people, these gangs, and it's mostly black people killing other black people. They have housing, but they can't sleep in their beds. Some of them actually sleep on the floor because they're too afraid a bullet will come through their wall.
Yeah. But what's really funny is the governor of Maryland. I'll get this up.
Here.
That's not right. That's mine.
So they're here in DC. There are guardsmen from 6 different states on the street. The mission is
Hold on.
duty and support.
There we go.
The defense secretary has authorized them to carry M4 and M17 rifles, but to date, we have not been able to locate anyone armed within the National Guard on the streets of DC. Why, though, are you so...
Don't settle for less. Here's what others are doing to fix missing and broken teeth. The company everyone has been raving about is called
opposed to this deployment?
Well, there's plenty of reasons. One, it is not sustainable. You cannot continue this type of pace of operations, particularly when it's costing over $1 million a day in order to do this. The second, it's not scalable. You're not going to be able to do this in every single major American city, particularly when many of the cities that have the highest crime rates are the places that have actually deployed their National Guards to Washington, D.C. So who's going to go do the work in their cities? The third, it's unconstitutional. It's a direct violation of the 10th Amendment. And if for a party that talks about state rights, it's amazing how they're having such a big government approach in the way they're conducting public safety. The fourth reason is because it's deeply disrespectful to the members of the National Guard. As someone who actually deployed overseas and served my country in combat, to ask these men and women to do a job that they're not trained for is just deeply disrespectful. And so when we're thinking about all of these lasting factors, when we're thinking about the fact that it serves as a distraction from the fact that the president's disastrous economic policies are making everything more expensive for for everyday Americans, is making life harder for everyday Americans. There is a multitude of reasons that I am against this, and I will not authorize the Maryland National Guard to be utilized for this.
Well, the National Guard does say that these troops will be trained and deputized by federal marshals. So this is going to be distinct from the military rules of engagement.
But it is counter to every bit of training that we've received. When I joined the military, we joined with a clear intention to fight and win our nation's wars. The members of our National Guard are trained up to be able to address things like emergency situations where you need a surge of supports for traumas and disasters that are happening within individual jurisdictions. That is not this. And this is a direct deflection that the president is authorizing.
We know the president watches the program, and he likely saw the guest listing because he's tweeting about you or truthing, I guess.
Okay. Now, oh, that was weird. That is really weird. Hold on. Let me get this fixed up real quick.
Yeah, he's talking about 47 days of training. Huh. Where's that figure come from? Coincidence.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is the reason why, and they're not saying this. They're saying, oh, we're not allowed to do it in different cities like Chicago or, yeah, he's absolutely right. They are not allowed to do that unless the governor asks for it. The whole thing in Alabama back in the 60s, I believe, for I think it was Alabama University, they had to get permission for the National Guard to stand guard for the black families to go to that school, because it was a national emergency at that point, because the stupidity and irate people of that area did not want to see black children integrated with white children, which nowadays nobody really cares. Now, that was one instance that the National Guard was actually shot in because of that. Usually it has to be per the governor's advance. They have to ask for it. The reason why he's able to do it in Washington, D.C. is because it's federally owned. That's it. It's federal. He has a choice to, and the past presidents have issued martial law in Washington, D.C. because it was a danger to national security, especially the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln did it. A bunch of other presidents have done it since then. And it's the only area where you can actually do that as fast as possible because it's federal. All that is federal land. People that are upset and it's like, oh, he can't do that. Yes, he can. He can. Now, can he do it on the border? Still, no, he cannot do it on the border to issue National Guards. Now, the places that have allowed President Trump to do that, Texas is being one of them. Texas has allowed the National Guard to help secure the national border. Reason? Because it was unsecure. A lot of this stuff, I do agree that what Trump is doing is right. Some of the stuff, and we've talked about it off air, and we'll get into it here in a second, like this, I don't know, well, it was like 600,000 Chinese immigrants coming in to study at the universities. Bill?
Yes.
Okay.
600,000, but those that's not 600,000 right now, and that's not 600,000 new people. That's 600,000 over 2 years.
Okay.
And those people are already here.
Okay.
So what he's saying is, okay, let's revoke the visas of everyone. Well, take 300,000 people and all of a sudden pull 300,000 students out of universities. What's going to happen? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's open up and go to the high schools and say, okay, we're ready to admit 300,000 more people. Are you going to get 300,000 more Americans overnight? to replace those spots. No, you're going to have universities crumbling.
No, you won't.
Also,
They get okay. The reason why I say they won't, okay, that part right there, it's ridiculous. The reason why they won't, it
now it's some of the smaller universities, not your big ones that receive huge endowments.
not even the endowments. Okay, I'm not even going with the endowments. This is going off of the student loan. Okay, the student loan was made, and once it was made, the actual universities bumped up their prices. It used to be a pretty decent amount to go to the university, even Ivy League. It was pretty. It wasn't like super expensive, but there. Okay, you didn't have to worry about you didn't have to get a loan to do that. Once they added in the student loan, so the people that were unfortunate to be in the circumstances they were in and not be able to save money to go to college, then they could get a loan. And guess what? What did all those universities do? They bumped up their prices too because they knew they can get the money. How do I know this? It might be kind of stupid and everything, Dave. You might not know what you're talking about. Guess what? They did it for the freaking people that had the GI Bill. As soon as you had the GI Bill, you actually had the once they said, "Oh, GI Bill? Oh, yeah. Come to us. We'll take your money." Yeah, it happens. Treat universities like a business, not as a place of study, and to educate yourself to further your lifestyle. Okay? Because the people that are going to universities right now, a good portion of them are trying to get degrees just to get degrees. Because they're, I went to college. What did you study? What did you get your degree in? Oh, human studies of sociology.
Basket weaving.
Yeah. But here's the thing, okay? The only way you can use stupid degrees like that is if you go into the military as an officer. They even told us. I was like, hey, get your Bill, I swear. Put your hands in your pocket when I'm talking. They told us when we were in basic training, if you want to go in and become an officer after enlisted, and they encouraged it, what you need to do is you need to go out and get your degree in anything. Get your degree in basket weaving. They'll teach you how to do your job. And that's how a lot of people become officers back in the 80s and 90s, because they just got like stupid degrees. You could get a freaking associate degree and become an officer in the military. They would like pick and choose and where you would go and everything, but basically they wouldn't if you weren't smart enough, they wouldn't allow you to like fly a plane or a helicopter. But that's how a lot of officers become officers in the military. They go in, they use their GI Bill, they get a degree in something, and they go back into the military and become an officer. I know lots of enlisted going officers. I forget the name of the program. If Johnny was here, he could tell us. But yeah, that's the reason why universities will not lose any money.
Well, they can't compensate for that overnight.
It doesn't matter.
So if all of a sudden there were 300,000 fewer students, then these smaller universities, all of a sudden they're losing that revenue. And we're not talking student loans.
Okay. And I'm telling you this right now, that you give it 1, maybe 2 semesters, You won't have a problem after that. The reason why I do not want these Chinese people, it isn't because I'm against Asians. It isn't because I'm kind of against China because, I don't like communism. The reason why I don't want these Chinese people coming in here and doing whatever, they steal IPs. Any kind of they have stolen so many IPs already. I don't know how we are going to get that back. The people that are coming over here, they're stealing spots in the university. And it's people saying, oh, they're stealing spots. Yes, they are stealing spots in these universities. There are certain people that go to the university and get denied and have to go to a different university or college because they have a quota of Chinese citizens to actually get into. It is ridiculous. That's the reason why I don't want these 600,000 Chinese students here in the United States.
But the reason why I'm not jumping the gun on it is that's all we know. 600,000 Chinese students. 600.
Yeah, they could already be here.
Well, no. Why? He's making a big trade deal with China. Why? It isn't just he said and offered this like, hey, let your people over here for nothing. We still need magnets. We still need the rare earth from China. He's working on getting other sources.
Yeah,
did he have to give that up to get that? Were they going to stop shipment unless he did it? Did he go, hey, I want this and this from you, and I will do this for you? It's got to be a bargaining chip for a bigger picture that we don't see yet.
I totally understand that, Bill. I totally understand that. And yes, we are going after rare earth minerals from other countries, mainly Africa. If this peace deal gets through with the Russia and Ukraine, we would get rare earth minerals from Russia. Am I happy about that? Fuck no, I'm not. I don't like Russia. I'm a child of the 80s. I see red. Anytime someone says Russia, Russia, Russia. Anyways.
Hunt for Red October. Excellent movie. Child of the 80s.
What the hell? Even the most AI. Okay. Even most of your AI industry and chip design sectors is run by ethical Chinese. Chinese doesn't steal your tech. They created it. Yeah, that is true too. They also put backdoors in a lot of this stuff too. That's the reason why we are not allowed to have what is it, Huawei? The cell phone company?
Yes.
Okay. They also, surprise, surprise, they actually make transformers. And we found some of the transformers that had back doors to shut down electricity in certain sectors. Oh, he went away. ZPM. I like that though.
Stargate fan.
Yeah, Stargate fan. 0 Point Marginal. But yeah, they put back doors and stuff. Do we do that too? That's probably likely we do that too.
Now, there could be other aspects to it, like if he does sanctions, if the Ukraine thing drags on and he has to do sanctions, one of the big things is oil, and China still gets a lot of oil from Russia. Did he do this saying, "Okay, you're going to stop Chinese oil"? I don't know if he could get them to do that. There was just a meeting with what was it? China, Russia, Iran, and it wasn't a meeting. It's actually where they're demoing their forces, and for some reason, 2 Australians went to this.
Really?
Yeah. Not sure why. I mean, Albanese a few weeks ago, he spent almost a week in China. So he's ignoring America, ignoring American trade, and he spends almost a week in China. So this is very odd. So Russia is partnering so tight with, it was also North Korea. Russia is partnering so tight. Are we going to be able to control it with sanctions? Is he going to somehow get his shipping around and increase the oil to China if Trump gets India to cut back their purchases? So people look at it and say, "Oh, do sanctions, Taco. He doesn't do sanctions." There's a lot more to the sanctions than people think about. They think of it like trade. They think of it as a 1-for-1. Well, we raised prices, raised tariff on this, so it's going to cost the consumers more. Well, no, we raised it. So is there some other tax or some other expense that's gone away because of part of the deal? It's not just add a tax percentage and that's it. There's supply chains. He's got a supply chain issue. I haven't looked into that yet, but there is something to do with a supply chain issue I saw a couple of days ago that he's negotiating with China for. And the 600,000 could be part of that. That'll take some more digging.
Well,
Target fan back?
No. That was so sad. But I should have thanked him for the thing. No, I found something interesting. Okay. Top fans and XP. You can get XP by doing fan interaction on this. Let me go ahead and show you this while I have it up. This is the stream as we got it now. You can look in top fans and XP. This is how you get top fan. He got top fan because he's the only one that wrote anything down on there. But it's a ladder board now, a place where for fans to send out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It reset every stream, so you can always try it again. How do you get on the ladder board? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chats and messages, send super chats and super stickers. Learn more in the health center. I thought that was interesting.
We don't have the super chat ability yet, do we?
Negative.
Don't quite have the followers needed, do we?
No. We are close with the subscriptions, and we are not. And I'm not going to do this, and I suggest everybody else not do this. If you have a YouTube channel, don't do the. I'm only going to say this once, and I'm only saying it because just to emphasize that we don't. I won't do this anymore, and I have all my other people not to do it. Like and subscribe. Don't say that ever again.
Why?
I want the people to actually want to do it. I don't want them to feel forced. Everybody does it, and it's cheesy as fuck. It really is. It's like, please, sir, give me a little bit of your attention. Please, sir. Please, just a little bit of your attention. If you're here for us, you're here for us. If you're not, you're not. If you like what we're having to say and do and everything on this, if you're bored with it, go away. I don't care. I'm not paying. I'm not begging for attention. I'm not doing that.
It's not necessarily that. I scroll through a lot of things I get notifications on, and you get garbage mixed in there, and then you've got the people that you want in your stream to their videos to actually show up. Okay, if this guy does a video, I really want to see him.
No, I totally get
you've got to do that if you want to.
I totally get that. Okay. But I'd rather have them just do it themselves. They'll figure it out.
Some people don't.
No, I don't care. And those people don't really need to be. If they can't figure something as simple as that, We don't need them here.
Aw.
Yeah. I am placating that as the owner and operator of Angry Me Productions. We will no longer do that. And if you even think about doing it, because I see that twinkle in your fucking eye, going, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm gonna steal one of your cats. I'm gonna do anything horrible to him. I'm just gonna steal one.
Okay, I won't say like. What is?
Bill?
I've never been able to do that. You know, I was in a cruise ship and they said, okay, do the heart symbol.
Oh, this?
Yeah, see, I can. Oh, what does that mean when you're watching YouTube?
What?
Like.
No, the thumbs up is for YouTube. Everything else is the heart.
That's a Facebook.
No, on YouTube it's a thumbs up.
Well, you still want to like it. And if you're going to like, you might as
I swear to fucking Christ, Bill.
Well, hey, I've got you know, there's things in your past that you remember. You remember where you were when it happened.
Okay.
Right? Like for instance, the space shuttle exploding.
Yeah, that's fake.
No, do you remember where you were? I mean, I can't even hardly say the words "go at throttle up" without tearing up. So
I don't even remember. I think when was that? 85?
Something like that. What about 9/11? Where were you? You know where you were?
Oh, I know exactly where I was, and I can describe the entire day what happened.
Okay. Now, what about when Dale Earnhardt died?
I wasn't in NASCAR. That was Johnny.
Oh, I was in Hastings, and they had the race up on monitors all around. He died. The whole store went quiet, and people started crying all over the place.
Wait a minute. When did he die?
Hastings was open.
Jesus Christ, Bill. Give me did he die in never mind. Let me actually look it up, okay? I'll do the lookup because you come up with the stupidest answers.
Well, you have to now say, where were you when this happened?
Oh, I know where I was.
He's losing it. And we start with a trigger warning to all the Swifties out there. Yes, come at me. Because, wow, Democrat lovey-dovey Taylor Swift's engagement to Travis Kelce seems to have given the miserable, sour and angry white women the okay to get married. I mean, who would have thought you could actually continue life as normal?
No. What? You gotta watch this.
Here was CBS reporter Olivia Rinaldi having a complete freak out after finding out the news.
Taylor Swift is engaged. Taylor Swift is engaged. Taylor Swift is engaged. This, come back to me. She just posted it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, it's huge. The ring is ginormous. This is so exciting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's on her Instagram. It's on her Instagram. It's on her Instagram. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I feel like Paul Revere right now. Like this is a very exciting moment
Shut it off.
because I get to announce that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are
not looking. I'm going to ban that if I have to. Don't ever do something stupid like that again. I swear. Okay. I'll give you this because we did it on Wednesday. That's the reason why I didn't want to do it, because we already announced that idiotic stuff on Wednesday. Okay.
Well, did you play the reporter doing a live broadcast and getting the notice?
I want you to stop right there. Okay. Here's the thing. And I want everybody to take note on this.
Oh, wait. Paper, pencil. Okay.
This close. No, just this close. Anyways, if you look at some of the podcasts, like I do, I actually listen to Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce. They're funny guys, hilarious. And they had Taylor Swift last week. You could actually see them getting ready everything. Hey, this is the reason why we're doing it. This is, XYZ. They already announced they were getting engaged without announcing they're getting engaged. Okay. Even Jason Kelce's wife that has a popular podcast too. She was like, yeah, Taylor Swift is this, Taylor Swift is that. Everybody was showboating, hey, how much these two people love each other. And freaking Trey comes up, he's like, oh, dude, did you hear Travis Kelce? He's like, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't affect my life. Unless they call me up and was like, hey, do you want to do the ceremony? Really? Did you just pick me out of a hat or something? So I don't care.
It sounds like, though, that at the moment you actually remember where you were.
No, I'm going to forget that.
You mean 10 years from now, if I say, where were you? You won't say, well, I was watching this podcast on such and such.
No.
That little bit of information will just.
No, I'm gonna drown it. I'm gonna drown it with a lot of stuff. Anyways, anything else newsworthy, Bill?
There's that.
Oh yeah, what? Okay.
Now take a look, right? Oh, I can't point. Look at the lower right. You see, the bell doesn't quite look solid. You see it lower right looks kind of torn apart.
Yeah. Did it blow up?
No, it did not. And in fact, I was watching it.
Yeah, because everybody puts like 50,000 different things up nowadays. So I don't know how soon or late to the game I am on a lot of the news. That's the reason why I have to research it. But yeah, I noticed that it was actually pretty interesting. I was starting to watch it and then it cut off.
Starting to watch it and it cut off?
Yeah, because I ended up watching something else that I was actually interested in.
What? There was nothing more interested in that launch.
We have different interests, Bill.
Well, I'm searching real quick for my play-by-play.
Well, I'm actually interested in diet and exercise.
Oh, well, anyway, yes, it did go. Some of the liberals are like, oh, it blew up when it fell over. Yeah, it was supposed to, but it did the soft landing in the water. But the automatic giant Pez dispenser worked. That was pretty awesome. One engine failed shortly after it took off. You could see the one engine out, but they compensated for that. They didn't even hardly mention that. Are you wondering about the Pez dispenser?
Yes.
Well, it's made to, of course, launch satellites. So he had 8 phony Starlink satellites in it. And what was supposed to happen is a door was supposed to open and then it would push the satellites out one by one. Now, last time it lost control and exploded before they even got to the point where the door opened.
Oh, okay.
Now, this time, fascinating. And as you're watching this, you see kind of pieces of stuff floating around. And is it, ice particles, whatever. And it went fine going out. But then there was the camera on one of the fins that you could see as it was coming down. And people, one of the comments was, "Oh, the little fin that could. Is it going to break off? And is the thing going to break off?" So you started seeing pieces falling off as it was coming down. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, is it going to actually make it?" But it's kind of like, what is it, David? Is it the A-10 Warthog? That is that the one, the military plane that if it's just shot to pieces, it can still fly?
Yeah, it's the A-10. It's literally the cockpit is literally like a tub of titanium.
Yeah, that's what I felt like watching that thing. That thing, pieces are flying off. You're seeing it. You're seeing this tear in it. The engine bell part of it blows off, and it's like, oh my God! And it still made it, and did its rotate and splash down on its tail, just like it was supposed to. Now they didn't catch the booster because the next launch is going to be a new generation of Starship, the version Block 4. No, brain fart again. And it's going to use a different booster, so they had no need to save the booster. Instead, they did what they do. If something destroys, it's not a failed mission. They're getting readings off of it continuously. And it's their iterative development, which is different than most companies do. They don't do the paper, pencil, do the calculations and all that. Like, people are like, "Oh, that's losing tiles." Well, he put several different tiles in different locations made out of different things to see if they would survive. And then how well they survived. He had readings on everything. So that's when, and then he pushes it not to the limit, he pushed it beyond the limit. That's why, okay, yeah, there were pieces flying off. It was expected. It's just he did want it to go all the way and land, but even if it hadn't have gone all the way, he got a ton of data off of it.
Okay, read this. I'm trying to figure. I don't know if you read it or not. Because I don't know if I should be pissed off at it or not. Ethically Chinese. I guess they're a. Oh, it's a Chinese bot. Ha. I just realized that. I'm like reading it. I'm like, what is Bill? What the fuck? Stop talking shit.
Oh, I can make it show up too.
Yes, you can. Stop. God. Gee, Bill, I'm going to revoke your status. Anyways, it was Chinese bot because I was looking at it and it just something didn't. It didn't seem right, you know, because the even should have been capitalized. The E on that, it should have been capitalized. But they capitalize Chinese and Chinese and AI. So it's a bot. We get them all the time.
Taiwanese. Okay.
Yeah, most of the stuff are through China.
I was actually wondering because he's Oriental, who the head of NVIDIA, what nationality he is. Taiwanese, but he's right. A lot of them are Chinese, and there's building the AI factories here, the chip factories. There's a lot going into that it's difficult to go, okay, let's plop a factory in over here. And part of it is the intelligence, the work ethic. We don't have the work ethic that they do.
Well,
in
they're
some
about to lo-
countries,
they-
and also the raw materials. You've got to source the raw materials that go into making the wafers, and you still have to get those from other countries and ship them over here because we don't have the capability to make the raw materials that are needed. And that's what they're running into in some of the chip plants they're building in Arizona. Is it Intel?
I think so.
But TI announced that they are building, and this was this week. I saw a little documentary from TI that they're putting 6 or 7 massive AI data centers across the country. And if you want to see something really neat, look at a little documentary on their data center that's going in Sherman, Texas. And that's a fascinating documentary. But so getting into the AI industry, and then there's also we're going to get a cut of NVIDIA.
Bill, hold on. I have something here that I explain, so you don't have to get into it. Okay, we're just going to cut it short. Okay, I found something that explains everything.
Independence. Yeah. And what's your message to? Have you seen Donald Trump? Do you think he should step in?
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
I would be interested to know if anyone saw that.
Did I not? Oh man, are you kidding me?
Mine popped up. I removed mine real quick, but then there was nothing up there.
Remove. Okay. Stop. Remove all your stuff. Remove all your stuff.
Oh.
Don't awe me if your stuff just messes up my stuff, and my stuff is more important.
Well, it used to not do that.
Yeah, well, we're not dealing with that anymore.
Huh.
Because that's like the third time that's happened. Okay.
Seen Donald Trump? Do you think he should step in?
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
Still gets me every time. And by the way, Dale Earnhardt died February 18th, 2001. Bill, I told you, get rid of all your stuff or I'm banning it.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, you're not allowed to put anything up. We're going to have to, we're not going to save it like we usually have. We're going to do it. Okay. I'm going to set this next clip up, and that's how we're going to do it. And you put your stuff up, or I put my stuff up that way. Okay. We're not going to deal with that anymore. We have to find a different streaming stuff so we can actually get our stuff ready. But anyways, Bill, anything other than me trying to ravage your heart and rip it out and show it?
Not really, because my string of memes that wait a second. My string of memes that I had that I was going to throw a few of them up like that.
I once too was once a man trapped in a woman's body. Then I was born.
This is last week.
Yeah, I seen that. No, they actually changed it. They changed it back. Now, did you see what people at X did? Let me see here. And let me see here. Let me see if I can get this. No. There we go. Found it. Okay. Take your stuff off, Bill. Bill, Remove
I
your
don't think.
stuff. Remove
See
it.
if
Remove
there's
it.
a
Remove it.
pop-up.
Remove it. Remove it. I don't have to stutter. I'm not stuttering, Bill. Remove your stuff. Okay. This. Well, that's gonna suck.
I was gonna play that, and then I went, nah, can't do it with music.
Yeah. Well, it's basically the Cracker Barrel guy and Donald Trump. So, and we didn't do a full 5. We won't get a bad hit. But yeah, that was that. Yeah, Bill, I'm being dead serious. If I tell you to take it off, take it off. But go ahead. Bill, hurry up. Come
You were
on.
mentioning something about jobs earlier.
Yeah. Oh, Adam's master geek in philosophy. 100K in student debt, can't find a job. A
Philosophy
job. Thinks people without degrees are stupid. 4 years paid apprenticeship. This is Chris. 4-year paid apprenticeship, no student debt, makes 100K a year. About to disconnect Adam's electricity. Yeah, I've seen that. All right. Well, everybody, thank you all for the people that actually showed up and watched us for a little bit. And thank you for ZBM for trying to actually be intelligent, even though I think you're a bot now.
Are you sure he's a bot?
I'm pretty sure, dude. It's 85%. I could be right. That's how bad. It's actually a lot worse. It is a lot worse.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, hey, everybody, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. I'm David Dickerman.
And this is Wild William.
Goodbye.
Later, dudes.